Okay. My guest today is busy. We see her on the TV with Peacock's hit show, Bel-Air, and now she's brought us some music. And I'm so happy that she stopped by the show because the Hybrid Soul is your destination for music and culture discovery. Welcome to the show, Jazlyn Martin. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was going to say, besides being busy, how are you?
I'm grand. God is good, so I can't
Yeah.
complain. Can't complain.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
busy.
Busy. Right. When you look at yourself maybe a year from from today,
hmm
did you expect the busyness to happen like this?
Um, Not in this way. No, you
Mhm.
kind of think of it more. You think about all the benefits without the cons. When you think ahead, you're like, oh, this is where I'm going to be. It's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. But you don't, necessarily think about all the work that it takes to get there. And I'm
Yeah.
not shy of work. I love working hard, but it's definitely different than how you picture it. But, I'm blessed to be productive and busy right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to discover you because we're seeing you on your videos, we're hearing you, we see you on TV on the hit shows, but where is Jazlyn Martin from? Like, how did she get into the arts? Because you are a creative.
hmm
Where did that bug start? When did you get bit by the creative bug?
I feel like the bug was in the womb with me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm born and raised in LA, and my both of my parents are creative. My mom was a dancer, and my dad is a musician. So, I just grew up in a very artistic household, and they really poured into me, um, and really supported me in whatever endeavor I wanted to go. And I started dancing really, really young. They always make the joke that I could dance before I could walk. And then, watching my dad, he was a big fan of Prince and Michael Jackson. So just seeing him move and sing and play instruments, I was like, I want to do what my dad does. You
Yeah.
know, I thought he was like superhero on or Superman on the stage. So yeah, I think that bug was in the womb with me, and I just fell in love with it at a very, very young age.
Now, were you one of those kids that which Michael Jackson or Prince did you gravitate to, and what was the song?
Oh, I probably gravitated to Michael Jackson
Hmm.
first, and then it was probably PYT. I really loved PYT. I don't know why, it just hit something in my soul. But then later on, I got, more familiar with Prince because my dad loved him so much. And I love Girlfriend by Prince. That one is the jam.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, he really poured into me like the D'Angelos, the Music Soul Childs, the Jill Scotts. Like he really shaped my love for music.
I love it. I love it. It's PYT and Girlfriend still hit very hard,
hmm
still to this day. Classic music. When you were putting this project together, Identity Crisis, tell me about the process and you saying, I'm ready to put this project together. What was that time in your life when you were starting to put music together?
I think I was always vocally training. But I think this is a long answer, so forgive me. But I think I was ready to put out music, and I knew I was made to do it. And I'm very intentional with my music and with my craft. So I was like, if I put out music, I don't want it to be a hit song or me have nothing to say, because I think art does a beautiful thing of healing people and it is a reflection of the world. So I wanted to have a very intentional message when I did put out music. And the place I was in was, Bel-Air just came out, so like I was getting used to like being recognized. And me coming from a mixed background, I always felt like I was one foot in, the Black community and one foot in the Mexican community, and I didn't fit in either, or I didn't belong in either. And it was just a lot of transitions in my life. And I had a conversation with my friend, and he was like, what story do you want to tell? And so I felt like at that time I was going through an identity crisis, and I think we all do, and we will
Yeah.
continue to go as, as we change and we evolve and we change our minds. And so I just, that message isn't really talked about a lot. And so, I wanted to make a project that reflected where I was. And the process was just, yeah, me reflecting a lot of where I was at and how I feel, and the the identity battles I have in my head that people don't necessarily see, especially with Perfect. A lot of people think I'm very strong and joyful, and like nothing can knock me down. And I love that, but it's also like I'm still human. Um,
Yeah.
so it was very vulnerable and it was very honest. And I don't love being vulnerable, but that's exactly why I knew I should do it.
Um, when I look at we put your singer, actress, dancer, but you're a producer, lyricist, composer. Was that the plan when you was putting this project together?
No, not necessarily. I am such I don't like to say control freak, but like, I just like my hands on everything. Like, that's just
Mm-hmm.
how I was as a little girl. Like, I just, if it's gonna be a song on my project, like I want this chord to go that way. I want it this way. I want it to be mixed this way. And it's my heart. It's my first project. So I wanted it to be a pure reflection of who I was. And I was like, no one knows me better than me.
Yeah.
So, and watching my dad play instruments, I was like, I want to know the major and minor chords, the sevenths, like, I just was so fascinated, and I was like, I want to get my hands on everything. So it just kind of happened.
What did you learn about yourself putting this project together?
Oh, that's a lot. Uh, um, that's a big question.
Right?
Um, I learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot. One, to be more intentional. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Two, to be gracious with myself, because I think I'm extremely, extremely hard on myself. And some of the songs I'm not singing to other people, I'm singing them to myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's all right if you're not perfect. Like, you're still worth it. You're still worthy. Um, so yeah, being intentional, being gracious, and I think vulnerability is strong. And I think we're taught a lot of times vulnerability is weak, but I think it's easy to be hard and cold, but to live in a
Yeah.
state of softness and kindness, I think that's the true power.
I get that. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Perfect. Um, a friend of the show worked with you on this, T.A. Thomas.
Ah, yes.
Love him. Love
Yes.
him. We actually went to the same college, so it's
Oh,
even a deeper, stronger
wow.
Jackson State,
Mhm.
Mississippi boy.
Yes.
Um, Perfect. uh that could be a poem.
Mhm.
It hits, it really hits. I was very touched writing that song and working with TA and the others on that project. Coming out of that song, when you all laid that last chorus down, what was that feeling? Because it's a beautiful song.
Thank you. I don't know. I think the feeling was like, God, I hope people see me,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope they hear me. Because I think, one, now, like, starting to become a celebrity, it's like you're put on this pedestal, and you have to be perfect. Cancel culture is so big. And also being a woman and a woman of color, like, you can't slip up. You have to do it right. You got to
Mm-hmm.
go the extra mile. So I think finally hearing it, I'm like, all right, I hope people can relate, and I think they
Right.
can. But yeah, it was very vulnerable, because no one wants to admit that they mess up and that they do things wrong. Um, but that's just such a unrealistic facade, and like, what disservice I'm doing myself, not allowing myself to be human.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Because that's a daily kind of reminder to yourself, like, chill out. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Chill out. Give yourself more grace.
Mhm.
Uh Putting another song on this project that I really like, with Fabo.
Fabo, yeah.
Fabo, in this bed. He's
Yeah.
dope. How did that come together?
So That song I wrote with another writer who did Perfect Trey, and I kind of went in and I was like, this song is about the battle of me being soft because I think I don't move through the world naturally soft.
Right.
I think I'm very strong and guarded and protective, as women should be. And I think that song was the funnest to write because it's like, God, I'm longing for something that like I push away, but I really, really, really want. Like to be soft and safe and just let the guard down and like
Hmm.
just soft girl era, whatever. And so me and Trey wrote that first part together, and I was like, submissive. I'm not a submissive person. I hate submitting, like that's just not in my nature. I'm a fighter. Um, and so I was like, I would have to be in such a safe space to want to submit. And so it was hard for me to write about a man. So I was like, let me write about God. And it just flowed, like I want to surrender. I want to lay my guards down and my weapons down. And so then I was like, I want a man on this song just because, they're providing that space for me to be safe. And so I had a few R&B guys in mind, but Fabo is so talented and his voice is insane. And
Hmm.
just got together and I was like, this is what the song's about. It's called In This Bed because, in your bed is where you have a lot of the intimate, vulnerable conversations that you
Yeah.
don't want the people to know. You share a lot of secrets in your bed. So that's where like that title came from. And he was like, got it. And he just went in and laid it down. I said, oh, that was easy. Okay, yeah, that was it.
Pow, pow, pow. Coming from being from LA, it's such a cool like community.
Mhm.
And I know that you've been with the Bel Air, it's in season 3 now, but when you put this music out, who were the friends that were kind of like, hey, Jazlyn, dope? Like, how was that? And just presenting this project, how has that process been for you?
Um, Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends that I grew up with were the ones that were, like even after the first single, they would text me or call me or, and the second single of the project, they would reach out and they came with me, like a friend of mine from middle school, Esperanza, came with me to New York to do a press tour. And like that's crazy. Like we just grew up together. So a lot of my childhood friends have been, have seen this from the start. They're
Yeah.
like, we saw the little Jazz and the star that you were. So to like see it really come to life as an adult, they make me cry on a daily because they're just like you're really doing it. Um,
Yeah.
so I'd say definitely my childhood friends that I grew up here in LA, they have been my rock. They've been holding me down and pushing me because it gets a little scary as you get
Mhm.
older and putting yourself out there and they're like, no, 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 little Jazz was never fearful.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm gonna get it. So they remind me all the time. So definitely them.
I love that. Uh, when I see you on social media, I see like the comments, so many cool comments from your team, your parents and your friends. I think that's so cool. Like having your team support you. Like
Yeah.
how do you like keep that foundation? Because it's so hard. Like as more as you get the celebrity getting bigger and bigger, having those people around you, like
Yeah.
what are some things that you do to keep that balance?
I don't look at comments.
Good for you.
I don't. I think I say like it either feeds the ego or it diminishes your self-worth.
Mm,
And there's no in between. And comments can be mean. And it's hard because it's like I want to reveal myself and my authentic self, but it's like when you do, people criticize that.
yeah.
You know, I kind of find the peace that they don't know me and they don't know my heart, and God does. And my close friends know my heart, and I'm a very joyful person, and I'll be damned if I let anyone take my joy. Um,
Right.
and so, my parents do a beautiful job of pouring into me and
Yeah.
reminding me, like, they don't know you, they don't know what you've been through, they don't,
Yeah.
and as well as my friends. So I think the balance is I don't look at comments and I talk to God on a daily because I'm still human. They can still get to me, but finding my reassurance and my strength in God, I think, is the foundation.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's talk about more about identity crisis. They say
Hmm.
the video's so cute. I
Ah,
love it. You
you.
get a chance to do so much, show your dancing, your acting, your singing. Um, let's talk about the meaning of this song, they say.
Yeah. Um, so I think again, another identity that I was kind of battling with was, I think a lot of the songs right now are like promoting bad bitches, which is totally okay. It's not something I resonate with.
Right.
Um, and so I wanted to create a fun song kind of in that genre for the women who don't resonate with that. And,
Mhm.
I think society does a really good job of telling women um, how they should be loved and how they should look in order to be loved. And so I wanted to make a song of like, I don't need to change. I don't need to wear this. I don't need to do this. I'm beautiful as is. And I wanted other women to feel that too, because I think, it's easy to, conform into that ideology that bad bitches is what everyone wants,
Yeah.
especially when you hear that all the time. So I wanted to make a song that kind of empowered women to like love them as they are.
Wow. I love it. This is a great timing as well, just for women and support. I'd love to find out this. Being on set at Bel Air, it's so many talented people on the cast. Oh my God, you, Jabari, Coco,
I know.
Ali. Oh my goodness. Um, any words of wisdom, maybe Coco or Jabbar or Ali have given you just on your musical journey?
Oh, I'd say Ollie.
Hmm.
I've spent the most time with Ollie probably, and I think the music industry is a completely different beast than the acting industry, and he reminds me like you have to fall in love with the process, and
Yeah.
so that's hard to do when the process isn't pretty, um, or messy or whatever you want to call it. But I think yeah, falling in love with the process because little Jazz would be freaking out that I'm right here in the process. So
Right.
I think that's finding the joy in the chaos, finding the peace in the chaos is another way I like to think of like falling in love with the process.
Yeah. What's been the fun parts of this journey or this time in your life now?
Woo! Oh, the fun part of this journey. I think revealing this other side of myself that was always there that, I kind
Yeah.
of shied away from. Like I am a singer and performer at heart. I could not do it even if I tried. It's just in me so much. So I think to finally like release it and and show people I'm not playing around too. Like take me
Yeah.
seriously. Like I could sing, I could dance, I could play instruments. Um and just, having the love and support is overwhelming but beautiful. So I think that's been fun, just like creating music and doing it unapologetically.
Hmm. What's the difference between being on set and being on stage for you?
Oh my gosh. Drastic difference. Drastic difference. Set feels stage is fun, but set feels like fun. Like I don't know how to describe it. It just feels, at ease. I think at first, I was nervous, imposter syndrome, but now it's just I don't really get nervous, I would say. I think and if I do get nervous, I'm allowed to pour it into the scene. Like how's this character nervous right now? And I'm playing a different part of myself. I'm playing a different character and it's not necessarily me and how I feel. Whereas the stage, it's like this is my music, it's my lyrics, it's my voice, it's extremely vulnerable, and it's the level of rejection is way higher in music than in acting because there's a camera in front of me. I can't tell if people don't like it or not, but when you're
Yeah.
on stage you see their faces like it,
Unbothered.
yeah, it's right there in front of you, so you do have to have like a strong will with performing, but like performing's my favorite thing to do, so it's like girl, you better push through.
Right, right. If you had to tell an aspiring artist um, some words of wisdom, what would you share with them?
Ooh, that's a lot. Um, I think of a ballet teacher I had in high school, and she said talent is spelled WORK.
Mm.
And I was like, some people just are naturally talented, and but sometimes they don't get where they need to be because they don't have that work ethic. And I think I have an insane drive, sometimes too much. But talent really is spelled WORK. WORK.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, it how much you want it. And I think that that separates the people who make it and who don't, because everyone's gonna get the no's, everyone's gonna get rejected. But if you keep going, that really tells you apart.
Dang, you just dropped the microphone on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to end and just want to find out touring, seeing you out, like future taking Identity Crisis on the road. What is next as
Yeah.
you build your career?
Next is hopefully some live shows. I just did one last week with Mongo, by the way. It was my first show. Honored that he invited me. And I have a few more live shows coming up, one at the Moroccan Lounge the end of October. And if God allows tour, I would love to do tour. I'm still gonna be in the studio working on the next project because I'm ready. I am hungry and I'm inspired right now. And yeah, so we'll see wherever God wants to take me.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Thank you for taking time out to come on the hybrid. So I have to say, the more I listen to the song, I said, this girl is singing Lead Me to Love. I said, this girl was singing her little heart out. What? What?
Yes. Yes.
Lead me to love. As much as you say you don't like to submit and all, honey,
Hmm.
you are selling Lead Me to Love. I was like, do I do I need to be led to love? No.
We all need to be. Oh,
Yeah,
so badly we all need to be. But that's I haven't heard that before. As much as you say you don't like to submit. Yes, that song
yeah,
is, thank you for that.
yes.
Yeah, that song is probably my favorite song on the project. One, vocally it shows, I can sing. And
Mhm.
two, it's just very raw and emotional and reveals things that I don't want to reveal. Um, and it's kind of like a prayer. And yeah, I think we all constantly need to be led back to love. And another title that could have been was like lead me back to God or lead me back to myself, the love in myself, because at that time I was feeling very shameful and ugly and not proud of who I was. And yeah, it was definitely a prayer. And the song's about so many things. And I like to hear everybody's interpretation of what it means to them. That's
Yeah.
always my favorite. But yeah, I was hurt at that time. I was like, let me just sing it out. Let me take it to church real quick. So
Job well done.
thank
And job well done on Identity Crisis. I
you.
look forward to seeing you on the stage. I'm looking forward to seeing more visuals from you. It looks like you're having fun.
Oh,
And we just really appreciate you seeing you on TV and just what's next for you. And congratulations on this project.
thank you so
Okay.
much. Really appreciate
Yes,
it.
absolutely. My guest today is Jazlyn Martin. Go support her project, Identity Crisis, and we look forward to seeing you soon. It's the Hybrid Soul with Kelly Kinkaid, your destination for music and culture discovery. Let me hit record, stop. Record, let me hit record.